All right, so in this video, we're going to continue talking about the circular flow of income and how things work in an economy. So in the previous video, we talked about the flow of income, where we said that if we have, say, we have firms here, we can have households here. And it is the interaction between households and firms that give rise to economic activity. And we said that our households will provide factors of production that they'll provide these factors of production in the factor market. And we said the factors of production are the land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. And then firms will then be used by entrepreneurs to combine the factors of production. So the factors of production are flowing from households to the firms. But the firms basically want these factors of production so that they can provide goods and services. So here we see goods and services flowing into the goods market. And in the good market, the households are spending money buying these goods and services. So the goods and services will flow to households. So this is goods and services as well. Services. And here we have factors of production. Flowing into the factor market. So the factor market is a market for the factors of production, which are bought by firms. So factors of production are flowing from households to firms through the factor market. So this arrow again shows the flow of the factors of production. And then when you talk about income, firms will go to the factor market. So firms will go to the factor market in order for them to buy the factors of production. So here I'll use another color. I'll use this one. So firms, income is flowing from firms into the factor market to buy the factors of production. So we can call this spending by firms in buying factors of production. And then this will be income to households, because households are the ones who provide the factors of production. And then when we come to the households are definitely going to spend this income. But what do they spend it on? They spend it buying goods and services. So we can call this spending by households. And then this income goes to the firms, because the firms are the ones which are providing goods and services. So income from the goods market flows to the firms. So initially, we are starting with the firms spending in the factor market, buying factors of production. This then becomes income to households, of which the households will spend the income in the goods market, providing an income to the firms. So that's basically the circular flow of income there. Right. Now, if we are to introduce a foreign sector, say that we have a foreign sector here. I'll just put a circle here and call it foreign sector. Okay, so goods and services will flow to the foreign sector. So goods and services will flow to the foreign sector. These goods and services are coming from firms. So firms are providing the goods and services, and income will then flow towards the firms. So income from the foreign sector will flow to the firms. So income from here will be going to the firms because they are the ones who are providing the goods and services. So goods and services are provided by the firms, and then income will flow to the firms. At the same time, households, obviously they provided the factors of production. So the factors of production will flow from households to firms, and then the firms will use those factors of production to produce goods which will be sold in the foreign sector. So, and then income from the foreign sector will flow to the firms, like we have already mentioned. Another issue that we can talk about on the circular flow of income will be the presence of a government. So the government, the best way is to put it at the center here. Government will be at the center, and the role of the government, it taxes both the firms. So taxes will flow towards the government because the government is getting money through taxes. So taxes are flowing towards the government there. We call this taxes as well. And then we can also put government expenditure. The government spends both in the towards the firms, like it can offer subsidies. So here we can say government subsidies. And again, it also spends in their for the households by providing public goods. So, so the government provides public goods for both firms and households. So here we can also say public goods. The government provides public goods for both firms and households. And then we can also talk about government spending in the factor market, because the government will also want some of the factors of production. So there's government spending there, government buying factors of production. It can buy factors of production. And then obviously the factors of production will flow toward the government. So land, capital, etc., all the various forms of government of factors of production, especially labor. So the government gets into the market looking for employees to work on government projects. It gets the factors of production in the factor market. And then government also spends in the goods market. So here we have government spending. So here we can just say government spending there. It's also spent in the goods market. And then what the government will get goods and services from the goods market. So that's basically the circular flow of income there. The government can also spend in the goods market, and the government will be buying goods and services. All right. Now, the next important thing that we need to discuss in this on this topic is the role of financial institutions. So we already have households. We also have firms. Let's just put them side by side here. So businesses. And then we've got households here. Now, the households, usually they are the net savers. So, and then we can put the financial institutions in between here. Financial institutions. And then households are the savers. So they are saving money. You are putting money in a fixed deposit account in a bank. So their savings. You're putting money into the savings. And then there could be taxes as well being taken by the central bank. And then you can also be funding your imports, which is international trade. All these are what we call leakages, because they represent a withdrawal from the circular flow of income. On the other hand, the businesses will be taking money, investing in their property, plant, and equipment, or expand their operating capacity. So this is investment by businesses, which is good for the industry. And then there's also government spending. And exports, right? All these are injections into the circular flow, injections. They increase the amount of money in the circulation. These households are saving, which reduces the amount of money in the circulation, whereas injections increase the amount of income in the circulation. So that is how it works there. So financial institutions provide a service to the circular flow of income and helps it to provide liquidity in the circular flow of income by matching those who are the deficit units with the surplus units. So households in this case, we can call them the surplus units because they've got extra money that they want to save. So these are the surplus units. And these are the deficit units. Surplus units are where they have got extra money to serve, and deficit unit they've got a shortage and they're looking for money to invest. So conclusively, you need to know that consumption spending, I will denote it by C. It's an injection into the circular flow. Investment spending is an injection into the circular flow. Government spending, I'll denote it by G, is also going to be an injection. Exports is also an injection. Savings is also, well, savings is actually a leakage. All right. And then taxes is a leakage as well because money is being taken out of the circular flow. And then imports is another leakage. All right, so this is basically how it works. And the total spending in an economy, aggregate spending, is equal to consumption plus investment plus government spending plus exports net of imports, like that. With that, we've come to the end of this video. Thank you.